because Darren Grimes formerly of GB News, he resigned from GB News. You will know if you've been watching our little show for a while. He resigned from GB News about a month ago, I guess it was now, to pursue a career as an independent free speech journalist. And it seems like not an hour has gone by since then where he hasn't said something along the lines of, look, it's just me now. I need your support. Now I'm out here as an indie journalist, a free speech advocate. Now I can finally say whatever I like without the hand of the man or a manager or a producer coming down hard on me, restricting my ability to tell you people the truth. And so I thought it might be interesting to check in on him. Check in on old Daz and see what sort of truths he's been empowered to share since that great restriction on his mouth was lifted. Because, I don't want to be all, facetious about it. I don't want to trivialize that move. It must have been big and traumatic, certainly for his current account, to voluntarily leave GB News. Do you remember his statement and the teary-eyed exit that he broadcast on GB News? Very touching stuff. But he said it was a mutual decision and he voluntarily left. Now he's an independent journalist. Now he doesn't have the man breathing down his neck any longer. So now he can finally say what he always wanted to say. So let's see what that is. What has he been saying now that he's free to? Okay, so first up, he's put a video up on his Substack. Can't tell you how delighted I would be if I was paying $5.99 a month for exclusive Darren Grimes content. And, I got a notif to tune in for this. Dear Darren returns, the jaw-dropping cases that prove Britain's broken system. And here he is pretending to be Rachel Reeves. And it's not massively different to Darren Grimes humiliates activist judges in hilarious rant over human rights legal lunacy. It's not hugely different to it. Seems kind of similar, but I'm sure there's something different to it. I mean, on this one, he's got well, it appears he's lost the expensive wardrobe. Instead, he's got a wig on, hasn't he? He's wearing a wig now. I mean, is this really the sort of thing that GB News was prohibiting him from doing? Because this is one of those rare instances where actually I'm on GB News' side. It's not always an encroachment on your freedom of speech. It's not always some attack on your freedom of expression. If an investor in GB News or a producer of your program says, yeah, do you want to sack off the Dear Darren segment? Yeah, honestly, Darren, I don't know if there's a massive market for right-wing, alt-right culture war cretins trying pathetically to punch above their weight with regards to nuance and, subversive, self-referential humor or whatever the fuck that's supposed to be. You're dealing with a journo-political class of viewer who literally they just want hate and despair just soiled into their eyeballs. They don't want you to do your jokes and your shit wig. Leave that to the lefties, son. All these guys want is fear, fright, hate, an old white guy in an expensive suit sat next to a very young woman who looks like she could be a fucking intern, and both of them clapping their gums nonsensically over the back of a picture of a dinghy coming into Calais or Dover. So that's all they want. That's all they want. Give the people what they want, Darren. Oh, this sounds like an attack on my free speech. No, it's not. It's commercial. It's purely commercial, Daz. Let's see what else he's been doing, shall we? So we've got Dear Darren returns. We've got I'm Standing for Reform.
Hello, guys. I'm live, and we've got a lot to get through tonight. I hope you're all having a fantastic time.
Having a blast, mate.
And that you can hear us all right, because that's always a key start. There's not worse than not being able to hear someone and them just looking like a bit of a TWAT. I'm assuming that the audio is coming through this little microphone here. So if I step over to here, which should follow me, then you can still hear me, potentially. But
I mean, that's how you know this guy's a pro. That's how you know, isn't it? Nothing says good content, great content, quite like live streaming your sound check.
Denise says, hope you're okay. Must have been an emotional and exciting week. You can say that again, Denise. It certainly has been. I've just left my brother's house. He has this beautiful baby girl. She's 1 year old now. So being with her, I was thinking about how I'm going to be up here a lot more and I don't have to go to London every single weekend. And it was getting really tiring. To Denise's question, she says, it must have been an emotional week.
It's not a question.
I was going down to London every weekend. The trains were off at the weekends, so sometimes I was having to stay in London from Friday to Monday, rather.
And just to be crystal clear here, this is Darren Grimes Unleashed.
But it's so lovely to be able to see family at a weekend and to be able to actually have what feels like a relatively normal life.
That does sound lovely. And it's equally lovely, Darren. I think I speak for all of us when I say it's lovely that you're finally able to say this stuff without being restricted, without being silenced, now that you're unleashed to say this stuff. I feel, the political discourse is all the richer for it.
And I've missed that. I've been at GB News since 2021, so it's been years and years.
Grimes, of course, forgot there, I'm sure, to mention that he actually left GB News for a period of 6 months. In all that time, we still don't know why, but it could be related. I don't know for certain, could be related to those allegations of sexual harassment for a younger male straight colleague, guys. What else has he been doing? Now that he's unshackled, now that he's unleashed.
Good evening, my friends. I am back again for my second attempt going live like this. And Charlie rightly says 0.005 degrees Celsius. Oh, well, that's got to be worth busting the country open for.
All right. Now you're talking. Now we're into the A game. Top tier content. Climate crisis, science denial.
And he says, and that's by the end of this sodding century. And he's absolutely right to say that.
So I suppose two things here. First, is this any different to the stuff that he would have said on GB News? Like, is he unrestricted? Is he unleashed and now he can say this stuff? And secondly, I suppose more importantly, though, a little more boring, is this accurate? And the answer is no. No, the whole thing with a increase of the temperature is that it will melt the ice caps. That causes flooding. Plus the carbon in the atmosphere that is causing the increase in the temperature causes more erratic, violent weather. But you guys know this. You guys know this. You're smart people. Does Grimes know this? Honestly, I don't know. It's up to him, isn't it? It's up to him to decide if he knows that already. I suspect that he does. He's not actually that stupid. He's just hoping you are.
Good for you, Charlie. Thank you very much for that reply.
Okay, look. Is any of this stuff content that you wouldn't have expected to see or hear on Darren Grimes' GB News show? Not that I anticipate that many of you are, avid viewers, that you tune in particularly regularly to GB News. But I'm just saying, if the argument is that you're going independent because now you can say the things that you could never say before on GB News, then where are they? What are you saying now that is so different to what was on GB News before? Before, GB News, restricting. It's silencing you. It's censoring you. Now, you're unleashed. You're independent. You can say whatever you like. So why are the two products exactly the fucking same? I don't know what you're thinking. And you know what? You're right to. You are right to have the instinct that maybe what Abe Thompson is doing here is he's trying to egg on Darren Grimes to say some Ofcom not happy stuff, some hugely racist or hugely unscientific stuff, egging him on come on, Darren, say the stuff that they wouldn't let you say on GB News. Yes, I am. I would love to see that. Now that you're unleashed, Darren, why don't you start your next live stream with an N-bomb and a rainbow swastika jacket and 5 Roman salutes? Go God, son, you're unleashed, remember?
To what Sir Keir Starmer says, because Sir Keir Starmer clearly doesn't know anything about this Netflix show because he refers to it as a sodding documentary.
The creators of the show are calling for screenings in Parliament and schools.
Yes, and at home we are watching Adolescence with our children. I've got a
Evidently not.
14-year-old girl, and it's a very, very good documentary to watch, or drama.
Like, can we just pause there for a minute just to recognise the fact, like, he calls it a documentary and then he corrects himself. He's like a documentary or drama, right? But to Grimes, he's like, no, he called it a documentary. That means he couldn't possibly have watched it because he called it a documentary.
Because he refers to it as a sodding documentary.
Documentary to watch, or drama.
Like, I think this sort of thing winds right-wingers up more because when the left, and I'm, single quote, calling Keir Starmer the left, I think when people they perceive to be the left get something wrong and then they correct themselves, the whole idea of, like, correcting the record or acknowledging that you've got something maybe slightly off and then saying, like, yeah, it's not a documentary, it's a drama. The idea of correcting the record is completely foreign. Then when Keir Starmer says, yeah, we're actually watching that documentary. He said it was a documentary. No, I mean drama. Oh, but he said documentary first. So he could only ever have meant documentary. Oh yeah, but then he like fact checked himself in real time, Darren. Fact checked. What the fuck is a fact check?
This violence carried out by young men, influenced by what they see online, is a real problem. It's abhorrent. We are putting in specialist rape and sexual offences teams in every police force, but this is also a matter of culture that I think it's important that across the whole House we tackle this emerging and growing problem.
Yeah, it's a problem with culture, but it's never a problem with culture when it's Pakistani grooming gangs that are raping young girls, is it? That wasn't worthy of an inquiry, but you'll set up a task force to tell young boys that they are an inherent problem.
Can we just marvel? Right, so the conversation is about adolescence, right? Which is about young boys being radicalised online. And in comes Darren Grimes. In comes Daz, guys. Friend of the show, Darren Grimes. In he comes to somehow kind of twist and contort and pivot this into being a conversation about Muslim grooming gangs. It's a magic trick. It's what it is, isn't it? It's a magic trick. Waves his little wand and boom! We're back to talking about Muslims.
Yeah, it's a problem with culture, but it's never a problem with culture when it's Pakistani grooming gangs that are raping young girls, is it? That wasn't worthy of an inquiry.
And then we're back to this fantasy nightmare, this Faragian nonsense that there wasn't an inquiry into Muslim grooming gangs. There was. It's been established, it's been corrected, it's been debunked 1,000 times. It's already happened. Like, I don't know what Keir Starmer is going to do about the Loch Ness Monster. It's like, where's the Loch Ness Monster, Darren? Right here, in this photo. It's not a real photo, Darren. It's not real. No, it is. What is he going to do about it? I mean, we do have one plan, Darren. We're going to have you diagnosed and medicated. It's going to make it all better, mate. Doctors come in white coats, ready to jab it. No, don't give me the jab. No, it's all right, mate. It's going to make it all better. No, don't. I'm being silenced again. I'm starting to get a picture, starting to get an understanding of maybe why it was mutually agreed that Darren Grimes might leave GB News. Which sort of brings me on to the next little screenshot here of his YouTube channel. So there we are, right? We're talking about adolescence. And he twists it and turns it into a thing about Muslims, Muslim grooming gangs. And then, here we are on videos that he's put up of him on GB News. And it's, one of the first there in the search results, the grooming gangs. Darren Grimes fires back, refusing to be silenced over Pakistani mass rape cover-up. Guys, like, you get my point, right? Here he is saying that he's been silenced, that he was being censored before, and now he can finally tell you the things that he was previously restricted from saying I'm saying, look at his fucking YouTube. It's the same thing. It's the exact same product.